Welcome to our presentation about self-set salaries. We are Group B06. We are Zoe, Michael, Tom, and Leon. First, we will discuss problems concerning compensation. After that, we will explain different salary transparencies and go on to self-set salaries. Then we have a short case study which explains self-set salaries more detailed. Finally, we prepared a small discussion for you. Money influences employees' motivation to perform better. However, the problem is that this only works on a moderate level and in the short term as the new salary becomes normal after 1 month. Besides, one problem is often the missing variability. Variability in the payment is needed. If one employee only works less, he should also earn less, and if one employee works very hard, he should earn more. Otherwise, there would be no incentive to work hard. Fairness is also an important part and often a problem. Most employees compare their payment with their colleagues. If, for example, 2 employees work in the same way, both should also earn the same amount of money. Therefore, the relatively low payment would have a severe impact on the future performance of the employee who earns less. One other problem is the level of pay rise or bonus. If the bonus is too low, there would be no incentive to work more. If, however, the bonus or pay rise is too high, other employees might feel underappreciated. Although it has become common for companies to attract employees with unique benefits, most people value a solid and fair salary most. As salary attitudes differ, companies use different approaches to show how much each one earns. There are generally 3 levels of salary transparency, each with specific advantages and disadvantages. No salary transparency is when salary information is only the business of the company and each individual employee. This can create a great deal of flexibility to pay employees in similar positions depending on their performance. However, employees might wonder if they are being compensated fairly. Partial transparency is where companies don't actively publicize compensation details, but the pay ranges for specific positions are available. This allows for more flexibility to pay an employee higher who outperforms their peers. However, people can still be left to wonder if a colleague earns more than them. Full transparency is where salaries of all employees are available for everyone to see. Employees can see what people in the upper levels of their company make and use it as motivation to do better work. However, an employee who has been with the company for a long time earns the same as a newer employee who is still settling in. To establish self-set salaries, the organization's employees should be aware of their performance to control their outcome, so that they can evaluate themselves. They need to be trained in basic finance to understand how the company works, how revenue, costs, and profits are built up. They set their own salaries, calibrated by the advice process from their peers. If they do not follow this advice, their peers can choose to declare a conflict and invoke the conflict resolution mechanism. Self-set salaries require the support of the founders, board of directors, and the top management. Then, all the team members should trust each other in making the decision about their salary and as a consequence be all responsible in the sense that they will take decision for each other. Finally, transparency is fundamental to success. It allows individuals to understand how compensation affects the overall economics of the organization. Studies show that personal autonomy is the #1 contributing factor to happiness above money. Employees will feel more empowered and more committed to the company, so their performance will increase. Some companies report that people who, at first, choose to earn the most will give up the raises or decrease their own salaries voluntarily. While lower earners are often encouraged by team members to raise their salaries when they have achieved successes. This provides the feeling that what benefits the individual benefits the whole. We can see here that self-set salaries have a positive effect on the company but needs a lot of requirements and preparation to be successful. This ensures fairness in the company as there is transparency and employees do not feel underpaid or discriminated. Now we will look at a company that successfully implemented self-set salaries. At the age of 19, Ricardo Semler joined the family business at Semco, which at the time was a poorly performing manufacturing company based out of Brazil. Ricardo's mission was to part from the traditional corporate model and create true workplace democracy. At Semco, the employees decide their production quotas, set their own salaries, and decide what class they fly when they travel. Traditionally, this democracy would prove inefficient and detrimental to a company, but as a result of trusting their employees, Semco has multiplied its profits manifold. You should first understand the three principles that the Semco model is based on: democracy, profit sharing, and information sharing. Democracy means that all employees have a say in decision making. In order for this to happen, the business units must be reasonably small. Semco keeps business units under 150 employees, with minimal hierarchy levels. Profit sharing and information sharing must also be implemented in order for the system to work. Semler sums up his philosophy with this: participation gives people control of their work, profit sharing gives them a reason to do it better, and information tells them what's working and what isn't. At Semco, a survey of salaries in the market is performed and data is made available. Then employees are asked to specify how much they would like to get paid. If the pay is not reasonable in relation to the contribution, they can be asked to do another job or leave the company. Self-set salaries has worked for Semco because of the nature of the business, but how would it work for other businesses in the tech industry? Information sharing is typically utilized, but it is easy for managers to determine the employee's value to the company, and you could argue self-set salaries would be unsuccessful. Self-set salaries must be evaluated on a company-to-company basis, and there are many factors required for it to be successful. Semco is the best example of a successful democratic company capable of employee-set salaries, and it is an icon for other companies.